Hello everybody, welcome again to Statesman.com. Week 4 is here. I'm Tony Atkins here with Danny Davis and Rick Cantu. Week 4, 4 games. We start out at Monroe Stadium. You have Eastview being hosted by Vandergrift. Both teams are undefeated heading into the game. Who do you guys see remaining unscathed after Week 4?
I'm going to go with Eastview. Eastview has a great running back in Cornelia Garcia, 7 touchdowns, just under 7 yards per carry. They've been giving him limited work because of the way that Eastview's non-district schedules look. They've been just kind of blowing through everyone. Their passing game hasn't been bad either. They're throwing 8 touchdown passes, only 6 incomplete passes. 3 guys have logged pass attempts for them, so that's a pretty crazy ratio. I don't expect that to hold up against Vandergrift, but that's still a pretty impressive start for their passing. And Trey Holmstein, best kicker in the area. So that's a 1-2-3 punch that I'll roll with this week.
I'm going to roll the other way. I think Vandergrift's got the horses to do it this week. I think that as good as Garcia's been, and he's been good, I think Travis Brannon might be the best running back in the area. He's averaging 216 yards, and he's only caught 4 passes, but he's averaging something like 54 yards a reception. Vandergrift has played tougher competition than Eastview so far. And even though you can look at the numbers and they're almost balanced, it could be a 50-50 toss-up game. I'm just going to give Vandy the edge just because they have played tougher competition. But it could go either way, but I'm taking them.
And next we head over to Nelson Field. You have LBJ at 2-1 hosting Bastrop, also 2-1. Last week, LBJ got a big win against Connolly, and now what do you think happens this week?
I'm going to go with LBJ. I think they keep that momentum rolling from last week. Last year they had a lot of youth on their team. Probably they didn't get the results that they wanted to. I believe they had 7 freshmen playing their playoff game against Rouse. But those kids have grown up. They're playing better. And one of the newcomers they have is Avery Jackson, who happens to be Andrew Jackson, the head coach's son. Came over from Waxahachie. He's been playing quarterback for them, and that offense is rolling. Really impressive. They can run the ball. And I just think that's going to be a little bit too much for Bastrop to handle, although Bastrop has a very nice quarterback in Cameron Barron, but I'm going to give the nod to the Jags here.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to go with the Jags. 388 yards rushing last week against Connolly. That's normally going to get the job done, but at the same time, Bastrop had 334 against Dripping Springs, so it's going to be a very evenly matched game. So, one with the Jags.
And now, guys, we head over to Gubton Stadium where we have 3-0 Vista Ridge taking on 2-1 Marble Falls. Guys, who do you think wins that game?
Well, I like Marble Falls. I like their quarterback, Brennan Wooten, averaging about 350 a game. With that said, Vista Ridge is playing a very mean defense this year, only giving up about 20 points a game against very good competition. And Matt Snow, their quarterback, has been very, I wouldn't say average, he's above average. He's averaging over 100 yards running and passing a game. I just smell that Vista Ridge has got a mean streak about him this year, and they're going to continue this.
Yeah, we're 4 weeks into the season. I've picked against Vista Ridge 3 times. Vista Ridge has made me look foolish all 3 times, and we're going to see if they do it a 4th time because I'm picking Marble Falls. I just like the way that Marble Falls offense is looking under Brendan Wooten, who had about 3,100 passing yards last year. He's on pace for an even better pace this year. Royal Brown stepped up nice in their backfield. Aaron Wooten has led a very young receiving core. Aaron Wooten, Brendan Wooten's younger brother. So I guess they have somewhat of a connection there. And if you watched a video earlier this week, you saw he kind of he praised the defense a little bit. So I'm going to see if that momentum just carries over to this Vista Ridge game, and I'm going to pick the Mustangs.
All right. Well, let's hope you're right this time around.
Let's not hope.
Ranger fans.
He's going to be right, guys. Now we actually head over to Dragon Stadium in Round Rock, where the Dragons take on Stony Point. Both teams are 2-1, but Round Rock was really impressive in their win against Copper's Cove, 26-0 shutout. Who do you guys think is going to take this week?
I'm going to take Round Rock just for the simple reason that you just mentioned. Anytime you can shut out Copper's Cove, you've done a good job, so they've obviously got the defense. Stony Point does have a receiver that I think should get some mention. Justin Gamble already has 20 catches this year, and he's averaging 112 yards a game just receiving. With that said, I'm going to go back to the defense as we did in the last game. I'm taking Round Rock.
Round Rock's defense has played well, but Stony Point's defense has 2 shutouts this year too. So don't overlook the Tigers on that side of the ball. I'm going to go with the Tigers, like the way they're playing on defense, and like Rick mentioned, Justin Gamble, and we wouldn't be talking about Stony Point if we weren't talking about two quarterbacks, and they seem to be doing the quarterback rotation thing with Tanner. I think it's Aschenbacher and Damian Lindley, both been playing very well this fall, and I think that Stony Point upsets Round Rock. Round Rock was one of our teams in our preseason power poll, but I think the Tigers get them here, and I think that 13-6A race is going to be really fun this year because there's about 7 teams in that district that deserve a playoff spot, and only 4 can get one.
All right. Well, we've made our picks, so week 4 is officially underway. Keep checking back in at statesman.com and the High School Blitz for results and more.